LinkedIn notification said we are live. I don't know if you guys are following LinkedIn, but welcome. If you're watching this live, welcome. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining us. We love techno music, as you can tell. It's a party and a rave over here at Motel to Apartment Conversions. Welcome. Come on in. We do want to welcome you and invite you to post your name in the chat. If you see a chat anywhere on the platform that you're watching this, post your name and let us know where you're from. So I'm from Phoenix, so I'd put Andrew Phoenix. Jacob's from Utah, and Blaine's from Phoenix as well. Let us know where you're from. If you also want to post what you do, that would be great as well. These webinars happen every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk deals. We tell you what we buy, how we buy it, and we give you an opportunity to know how to cash in and how to be a partner and send us more opportunities. And in these webinars, we cover current projects. We cover the types of motels and hotels that we purchase and convert. And we're going to talk about how you can be a part of the equation. I'm Andrew LeBaron, born and raised in Mesa, Arizona, and currently partnered with excellent, extraordinary people, much smarter than I am. Jacob's my business partner. He and I served a mission together in southern Chile. Al fin del mundo is what we call it, at the end of the world.
La Patagonia.
La Patagonia. Hey, we were in the Patagonia before Patagonia was cool on all the outfits and all the jackets and everything.
I wore today.
Are you wearing a Patagonia?
I'm repping. Yeah, I'm repping our.
That's awesome. So he's repping the swag. So we served a mission for our church, 13, 14 years ago, long time ago. And he was much smarter than I was. While I stayed in real estate, he stayed in the books, and now he carries us forward with all of our management of financials and operations. I'm the hammer holder. I'm kind of the construction background. And our other partner is Richard Wilson. He is the president and CEO of Family Office Club. And he introduces us to new capital, new co-GP opportunities. And with us today, which you're going to hear a lot from, is Blaine. He's our acquisition executive. Okay, I got a question for y'all. Raise your hand, and I don't care if this is recorded and this already went and you're not watching this live. You can still raise your hand. Raise your hand if you'd ever buy an apartment complex for 8% down. That's pretty sweet. We know that a residential property you can get for 3.5% down on an FHA loan. But what if you could buy a commercial asset, typically 5%, 10%, 20% down for 8% down, non-recourse, no PG. So you're not tied to it at all if you don't perform. No bank approval process. Okay, my hand's raised. Most of us have our hands in the air. Okay, now you're being silly. 0% interest, that doesn't make any sense. No monthly payments. This is free money now. And the apartment's instantly worth double the day I buy it. Oh yeah, I'm in. I'm sure many of you are. And that's exactly what happened to an acquisition, which occurred about a year ago, year and a half ago. About a year ago, actually.
LeBaron of Motel to Apartment Conversions, and we are here in beautiful McAllen, Texas, wrapping up 29 Motel to Apartment Conversions. This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. We were able to buy this property with very little down. We pay $0 monthly, 0% interest, and we took all that cash that we saved and we were able to put it right back into the property, and we called it Studios on 4th. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee. If you missed out on this opportunity, that's okay. We have plenty more in the pipeline. So just make sure to follow us at motelstoapartments.com.
That never gets old.
Never gets old. That's right. Andrew makes a great movie star. So, like Andrew said, that was an actual deal that we did. The 8% down, 0% interest, no payments, and it was awesome. So the acquisition, it was La Casita. I always forget the name of it. It was La Casita Inn, right? Is what it used to be. We rebranded it to Studios on 4th. We acquired it December of 2022. Once we started renovations, it was about a 9-month renovation process. Andrew walked you through in the video what we did to renovate. And now it's a beautified apartment complex. We actually got it rezoned. We rezoned it to multifamily. And we're getting bids now, Fannie Freddie loan bids on long-term financing. And so we took this nasty motel and we're going to turn it into a stabilized multifamily asset that has long-term financing on it. And so the projected returns here, you can see over 30% investor IRR, 25% average annual return. You put in 100K, you get back 176K. That's what we're projecting for investors.
Yeah, the before and after of this is spectacular. This is what it looked like before, or excuse me, after. We put in a little over $1 million into this property, top to bottom. This is not your typical conversion, by the way. A lot of conversions aren't going to have brand new gas lines brought in and a gas stove and a gas oven. This one we did go over the top in every good way possible. Yeah, as you could tell, this was pretty dingy. We removed some of the wall on the left-hand side. On the left image, you can see some of that wall in the kitchen was removed to make it more of an open, flush, cleaner, light, bright feel. And now it's been, we added a dishwasher to it as well. So it's just a totally new asset. Bathroom, turned it on its head, ripped it out, put in new surrounds. We took out the tub and we put in a shower. We were just able to get it done cost effectively. And the exterior's got a nice lift. We added a sign, beautified the landscaping, patched and sealed the parking lot, striped it brand new, put in new windows. If you notice there in the old picture on the left, you'll see older air conditioning units that are 110 volt hanging up kind of high above the head. And then on the right hand side, you'll notice we put windows there instead because we added PTAC units down below. So that was a good move. Our rental strategy is pretty, I mean, every single deal is a little bit different, but it's pretty straightforward. We first meet with the city and we have a pre-development meeting and we talk shop. We say, hey, we see this eyesore you have in downtown and we want to put some good cash into it and build some housing for your local residents. And for the most part, they're pretty amicable. Sometimes we have to get a little creative. If they're not going to grant us the rezoning that we're looking for, perhaps they give us a change of use permit or a conditional use permit. But either way, we're able to still operate as apartment living, and that would require us to submit a plan. Now, the plans do need to be submitted through engineering and so on and so forth so that they can see, oh, cool, you're going to rip out the wet wall, you're going to add water lines, you're going to add drains. And that's what we do. In this example, on this slide, you could see that we opened up the drywall. We added PEX lines, plumbing lines, waste lines, and electrical so that a kitchen could be placed right on the back side of the bathroom. Most people ask us what we do, and that's exactly what I tell them.
So we talk a little bit about our acquisition strategy. So I probably on a given week, I probably look at least probably 100 different properties every week that are sent to us. So what we like to look for are distress. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be physically distressed. It could be that the owner's in economic distress. We like talking to those owners as well. So some type of distress, and we want to add value. So when we renovate, we want to have an add value aspect of it. And we love off market properties before they hit the market. We could definitely be a buyer or seller's best friend. And then also we try to look for the best price possible, and we love creative terms. We are solution seekers, so we're trying to solve the seller's problem. He wants to sell. A lot of times, the owners we run into are often have owned the property for many years. Oftentimes, they're just tired. They're ready to move on. They've kind of done their thing in the hospitality space and are ready to move on to other things. So that's the basis of what we look for. So here's our first deal. So these are two different deals, but the studios are a little bit different. So we paid just under $21,000 a door. We gave them 8% down of the purchase price. We had 0% interest and no payments. This seller was extremely motivated. There were legal issues with the city that he was trying to work through. And so basically we took a problem off of his hands and created an opportunity for us. And then this other property is in Brownsville, Texas. Acquisition was just over $24,000 a door. On this particular property, we put 30% down, and our payments are 8% interest only, and we have a 10-year term. And so we're in the process of remodeling this property here, and the goal is to be done mid to late summer this year with this property. So what do we look for? So probably the number one thing that we look for is we want to be in a good location. The whole adage in real estate, location. Same thing with us. We need at least 100,000 people living in an area. We love Sunbelt states the best. So Texas, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, and Tennessee are the preferred states. Really, the condition doesn't matter to us because we're going to be going in, and as you've seen, we're going to beautify the property. And it doesn't necessarily have to perform. It really doesn't matter for what we're doing because we are, we turn it into apartments. So how it performs as a hospitality asset really doesn't account for what we're going to be doing with the property. As far as unit size, we'll look at anything from 20 units to 250 units. That's typically the range that we have found success with. And then we really like to have a unit layout of at least 300 square feet. So we have room to add a kitchenette if possible. And we love properties that already have kitchens in place. That saves us a lot of time and energy and money as far as doing the renovation with properties that have kitchenettes. And then again, we love the independent hotel owner. We found that they are typically the easiest to work with and easier to work out terms on a deal by deal basis. So here are some different aspects. Like I said, we prefer exterior corridor. Those are the ones that typically work best for us. But if you look at this Brownsville deal, this is actually a kind of a mix of interior and exterior corridor properties. And we'll also deal with flag properties. If it's flagged and the deal is right and it works, then we'll definitely do the deal if the deal works.
Yeah, these units come in all shapes and sizes. They are large, they're small. We've worked with 250 square feet. We've worked with over 400 square feet. So the strategy might change a little bit. You notice at the bottom right hand of the screen, you could see that kind of a large quasi ugly kitchen in the middle of the space. That's actually on a deal we're looking at currently right now. That's a perfect 1-bedroom unit up to something on the left-hand side of the screen where it's just a studio and you don't get a whole lot of space. The property on the top left, picture on the top left, if you notice that, that's probably one of our favorite styles because we can actually convert that sink into a kitchen sink, and we can wrap the kitchen around the left-hand side. So it's more of an L-shaped kitchen. L-shaped kitchens kind of give a tenant or a resident the feel of, hey, this is a little bit longer term. I got more counter space. It doesn't really feel like a galley kitchen studio kind of. It doesn't feel like a extended stay hotel. Rather, it's more. I was meant to be here for a while, 6 months or even greater. These are just more examples of the types of units that we'll purchase. In the bottom two images, you'll notice that there's just a really short kitchen and there's some sort of separation. A lot of times we'll remove the separation wall or we'll create an L-shaped countertop.
And then we like properties with some type of amenities. Obviously, if these tenants are going to be staying long term, we want some type of laundry facility. And it's always a plus to have some amenities, especially outside. Like if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, this is a nice pool area that's attractive and inviting for someone to use. And then also maybe some utility space for someone to come in and maybe hold a small event or a meeting. And then also some type of workout facility is also a total bonus as well. So again, so purchase terms, creative is what we prefer. And the reason we prefer that is we can move a little bit faster when it's a creative acquisition. So seller finance, a wrap subject to a carryback. We'll even look at assuming a loan if it's possible. We'll definitely look at that. So our purchase range, it really depends again on the location, but we look at anything from $15,000 to $60,000 per door. And our renovation, depending if for an example, if it has kitchenettes already, we could do it as little as $10,000 a door, or if it needs a lot of love, a lot of renovation needs to be done, we can typically go up to even $40,000 a door. And we would like, ideally, we want to rezone. We want to have full approval of rezoning from the city so we can make it an official multifamily asset. And, it just opens up a lot more avenues as far as refinancing, maybe selling the asset later on if we have that full rezoning from the municipality. So our goal is to, let's partner up. Let's, if you have a deal, someone that's ready to sell, if you want to submit through our portal, it makes it real easy for me to go through, and it kind of answers a lot of the questions I'm already going to ask. There's our QR code right here you can use. We can do a referral fee. We can even co-GP maybe with the owner or another party. And we can buy it with some equity in the property. That's what we're looking for. So if you want to use the QR code again and submit it through there, it makes it really easy for me to go through the asset and kind of answers all of the questions that I need to know.
So yeah, these and thanks, Blaine. These two individuals here on the screen that you see on the left and the right. This is Dahlia and this is Esteban. These guys got paid. They sent us some deals. The two deals that we were discussing earlier, Studios on 4th and the Brownsville deal, the Viva Studios. It was a quick closing. Remember that a lot of times when we buy these, it is with creative finance, and you're not waiting and waiting and waiting for a bank to approve it, for the appraisal to go through, for the inspections to be done, for the closing docs. We're quick. And with creative finance, it's much quicker than all that. So I think, within a couple months, you could be seeing a check. On the left, Dahlia made $104,000. On the right, Esteban made a quick $36,000 on an old dinky brothel of a motel in McAllen, Texas that we turned around. So this is the reality of what can happen. And again, just to reiterate what Blaine said, please reach out to Blaine. Please reach out to us through this page. You could go to motels2apartments.com/sellyourmotel. If your QR code's not working right now, no worries. Just remember motels2apartments.com/sellyourmotel. And then his info is right there on the screen. That's his cell number. And that's our main inbox info at motels2apartments.com. You're going to get a hold of one of us, and Blaine will surely get back and answer a lot of questions and probably ask you a lot more questions.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We look forward to working with everybody. And, please feel free to ask any questions you may have. We'd be happy to answer them.
Guys, thanks for coming. This was fun. Again, every Tuesday, and you'll notice we're getting better and better at these. So there's going to be a definite progression in quality. We got microphones now, and we're talking on. Actually, I probably should talk on my microphone. That probably sounds a whole lot better. But we're prepared to help you, especially cash in on these opportunities that are floating around the Sunbelt states. And just a quick reminder: Sunbelt states, Texas, Carolinas, Tennessee, Florida, Arizona, maybe Oklahoma. We're open to looking at deals other places as well. We're not going to shut you down. We'll look at it. If you're curious or when in doubt, just send the deal anyway. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for coming. We'll catch you next week. If you have any questions, please shoot us an email or a text.